Hey guys, welcome to the fifth video of the series JavaScript Simplified from Computing Genie. In this video we'll be learning about how to format our code in Visual Studio Code and looking at different methods and ways to keep our code clean and free of error. So we'll be looking into what a whitespace is and how it might be useful. We'll also be looking into case sensitivity and commenting your line of code. So let's open up Visual Studio Code and take a look at whitespace. Whitespace in Visual Studio Code or any code editor is just blank spaces in between lines of code. This can be seen in continuous lines of code or sometimes even between symbols and different brackets. We have an example of whitespace being in our sample web page in the home.js file that we created in our last video. You can see that there is some blank spacing right here. Visual Studio Code automatically does this when you press on enter in between braces or parentheses. This makes the code easier to scan through visually and also gives you the ability to hide and unhide it quickly with this drop down arrow right here. As said earlier, some developers choose to leave a letter space between text and symbols like shown here. But this isn't recommended unless you decide to be consistent in this way across your entire project. And that's whitespace for the most part in general programming. Now let's take a look into case sensitivity. Case sensitivity are just basically code elements that are affected if they differ in upper or lowercase forms. So to put that into an example, we'll open up index.html and right here there are some tags. So let's take this script tag right here and let's just change this lowercase s to an uppercase s. And if we save the project and run this on our browser, you can see nothing has been changed in the output, nor there are any errors being called out. But if you try the same thing with something like our custom function, which is a unique variable, changing this into an uppercase S will basically make the code run into an error and not execute the correct output. You could pull up your console in your browser and see where you have went wrong. And if I now just change this to an uppercase S and save the file, you can see that our code is back up and running again. So the general conclusion you can draw from this is that in built-in codes and functions such as tags are not affected by case sensitivity, but external commands that are added by the programmer themselves are, because they are not declared in the database of the code editor as they are unique and custom. And that was case sensitivity in a brief. Now finally, we'll be looking into commenting out code and lines of code. This will be really useful if you work with multiple programmers in one project and to keep everything organized and labeled. To comment out a single line of code, you'd use 2 forward slashes and your line of code will turn into a different color. Now, whatever is now identified in green has been commented out and will no longer affect your code, and you could type in anything you want here. The common use case is just to mark it as an incomplete spot or an area of concern in your code, and you could ask your team member to just inspect through it while not affecting the rest of the project. And those are some of the methods you could use to clean up your lines of code and make it a lot more organized and stay error-free. From the next video onwards, we'll be looking into variables and how to declare them into your line of code and much more. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like on the video. If you have any suggestions regarding the content of the video, leave a comment down below. Subscribe to Computing Genie with bell notifications so you'll never miss out another tutorial. And that's it for now. I'll see y'all on the next one.